It's morphin' time!
Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome back to another Power Rangers Lightning Collection review. Today we're taking a look at the fan channel exclusive Power Rangers Lightning Collection Lost Galaxy Red Ranger and In Space Psycho Red Ranger 2-pack. This one was actually something that we found out about ahead of release when a page went up on BestBuy.com showing off the 2-pack with a bunch of promotional images. It was one of the biggest kind of leaks, early release things we've gotten for the line, and it just came out of nowhere. And then on August 28th, for Power Rangers Day, the 2-pack went up for pre-order on several online retailers, including Hasbro Pulse and Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Dorkside Toys, and of course, GameStop. And then of course, GameStop was like, so we got them in, send them to the stores, because, you know, GameStop, I guess. And yeah, here we are, middle of September, when this set was originally scheduled for November 15th. The Hasbro Pulse date has now moved up to October 1st, so guess what? Everything's coming out early these days. I don't know. But here we have Lost Galaxy Red and In Space Psycho Red. So, let's get into it. First up, box. Similar to the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger and the Putty Pack, two sides to the box. Two different colors. They used a darker red for Psycho Red and a brighter red for Galaxy Red. Really nice artwork on the sides, especially when you get that nice angle, you can see the whole thing. Really looks fantastic. Back of the box, very minimalistic as always, but really awesome. I appreciate how simple it is just to have pictures of the figures and then just the nice banner. I think the extra text on the gold and red 2-pack from Comic-Con was a little much. Now this 2-pack is notable for a couple of reasons. First up, it's our first modern day Galaxy Red Ranger figure for collectors, as well as the second Psycho Red Ranger to be released in the last year. Bandai, at their Legacy line towards the end, did a Psycho Red, as well as a Psycho Blue and a Psycho Black, but they never did get a chance to do Pink or Yellow, and Silver and Green were released as Comic-Con exclusives. However, Psycho Red here has been done before. I did not pick up the Legacy ones. When I saw the writing on the wall that Pink and Yellow weren't coming, I decided not to buy any of them, mostly because I really like Psycho Pink and Yellow, and not having the whole team to me would have felt weird. I could have had Yellow and Pink only, that'd be cool, but I didn't really want to own 3 of them. And I figured, alright, I'll wait, you know, probably be a couple years before Hasbro does it, and then here we are. One of the 5 possible versions of this mold is already out. And Blue is coming in October, and I say October to GameStop. Because, I don't know, GameStop would call me tomorrow and be like, so your Psycho Blue's in. Anywho, let's talk about Psycho Red first. And the reason why I'm doing this is because this figure, for whatever reason, makes me more excited. And we'll get into that. So first up, let's talk about Psycho Red. Now, it is different than the Bandai one. I'm not going to do a direct comparison. I don't own the figure. That would be unfair to both figures to just compare off pictures. Personally, I like the look of this figure. I really do. It follows the Lightning Collection styling of, you know, trying to be as suit accurate as possible. I think the neck, it looks like he has no neck, but he's got enough of a neck. Those collars on the Neji Ranger suits were always kind of high, so it kind of works out. Overall, the paint's not too bad on Psycho Red. We'll get to, you know, Galaxy Red in a bit. But overall, very nicely done. I do like how all the little silver bits have been painted in. The belt's nicely painted. The back, you know, doesn't have much because of course it shouldn't. But I love all the painted symbols on his hands. Not only that, but on all of the hands, which is super cool, as well as the extra additional red. There's a little extra plastic flak there that I'm just gonna cut off. But other than that, nothing too crazy. I do like the way they did the boots because they were a faux leather in the series, so they actually sculpted in the cracks and bends that would come from just the suit being used. Which is fantastic. Same with the bunching kind of look towards the crotch area and the elbows. So really fantastic. I'm looking forward to owning this figure like 5 times. As long as I'm pretty sure they're gonna make, you know, they're already making Psycho Blue. I'm pretty sure Psycho Black, Green, and Silver aren't too far behind since they all just use the same mold. You just gotta change the weapons. So that works out. Articulation-wise, you got up and down, left and right, a little tilt side to side. He can properly perform the 360 head spin to the 10th power, so you got that going on. His arms don't like fully mesh down to the side of his body. They're he is very broad-shouldered, but they do come up, which they're very, very tight on him for whatever reason. They do 360 with the armor getting out of the way. Butterfly in, butterfly out, no big deal. For those wondering, yes, there is pretty much nothing under the chest. It's just a blank chest. You got double jointed elbow, which, oh, that's like probably one of the best double jointed elbows I've ever seen, like period, which is awesome. I've got inward and outward wrists as well as swivel. Torso ball joint as usual, plus the ab crunch forward and the ab crunch back. Very nice. Like that looks like, you know, some body horror Psycho Ranger stuff. Like it's just, anyways. You got that going on. Hips move out. Again, wish the hips moved a little bit further. It's just, that seems a little limited. Thigh swivel forward, maybe a little, you know, a little restricted back. Double jointed knee, very nice double jointed knee. And then also a boot swivel, as well as a forward and backward ankle pivot and a side to side ankle twist. So very nice. You can get him all kinds of cool poses. What's the point of poses without accessories? He's got some awesome ones. First up, let's look at his effect part. The Psycho Rangers blasting lightning at the Space Rangers, an iconic scene from the first time they fought them. So far, red and blue both come with this hand. I expect the other main 5 to also include this, because this is really cool. This is basically a hand you just swap out from here. So these are the 2 regular open hands. This is a lightning blast hand, which I gotta be careful because that the wrist is a little loose on mine for this, but it doesn't hold it down. Like it's a little loose, but it's not too bad. And it looks fantastic. Like he's ready to just electrocute some Rangers, which is fantastic. We're gonna swap this back out. His other hand, the other extra hand is just a fist, which kind of works with the lightning, I think, better. But we're gonna go and look at the sword. His Psycho Saber looks really nice. Wonderful paint gradient on it. I really love that. I love the extra red. I love the actual put the guard on the handle. It's one thing I did see Bandai didn't do was put the guard, but they're overall, like I gotta say, like Bandai's Psycho Ranger mold was really good, all things considered. So this feels like a little bit of a step up in just some regards. Like this, that is super cool. So you can get him to hold it, which is not too hard. Once you get him on there, you got that, and because of the articulation, if you want to have him hold it, if you want to have him dual wield it, you can just position. Sorry, I don't know why I'm grunting so much. It's just kind of, his joints are very stiff, but you got that going on. And so you got kind of that double-handed sword pose, which is so cool, because that's something that not many Power Rangers figures could do before Lightning Collection, so I'm glad this is a thing. We're actually gonna take a little bit different approach here, because what I want to do is pose him kind of how I have him posed on the shelf, which is reverse grip on the sword, which, by the way, that piece is movable up and down to help with that. So reverse grip on the sword, we're going to swap it out for the lightning hand, because that, like that, looks pretty cool. Like he's just like, oh, I stepped back with my sword. I'm just going to lightning you to death. Pretty awesome. I think this is a great interpretation of Psycho Red. I definitely look forward to getting the rest of the team. I'm sure they're coming, especially considering you can get 5 of them. 5 of the overall Psycho Rangers and 3 of the in-show ones off the same mold, just changing the weapons. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get them pretty soon. They'll probably all be store exclusives of some sort, I imagine. But hopefully none of them are too unobtainable. So we'll see how that goes. But moving to the other side of the pack, the heroic side, here we have the Galaxy Red Ranger. Now, the reason why I'm geeking out about this, wow. I think this is probably the best head sculpt of all the unmasked heads for Lightning Collection so far. This really captures the look of the actor in a lot of different angles. It's painted well, it's sculpted nice, the hair matches. This just looks like Leo. Like, I look at this and I'm like, that's Leo. I have no questions about that. And that's just fantastic. It's probably, I think, my favorite head of them all. We'll switch over to his helmet, and you can see the helmet was really well done. I'm actually pretty impressed by this because A lot of Galaxy Red helmets look a little weird. Sometimes the visor will be too wide, but this one turned out pretty good. I'm actually pretty impressed with this. Nice painted lines on the top. Speaking of what's not well painted, the neck, there's a little splotch missing out of mine, and it's not lined up. This is an issue with this figure specifically, is not lined up things. For example, the neutral pose here only looks about right when it's stretched back like that. You can see that there's a little bit of the red paint got rubbed off by the belt, because in the package it was like this. So it just got kind of molded like that. And then the other big thing is you can see how on here the glove is painted correctly all the way around, and over here not so much. This one got this half of it got painted up. So that kind of sucks. I wish that wasn't a problem, but it's becoming an issue with the Mighty Morphin Rangers and now with the Galaxy Rangers. And I think it looks a little weird here, but it's a little bit off. I don't know why there's so much black there. It definitely should be cut more at the corner, but whatever. It's not anything I can really fix. I might add some extra black paint just to kind of even those lines up, give it a little bit more of a transition. But the other thing is with this, if you have his head down a little bit, that covers that spot, and if the arm is posed up, you don't even notice it, because this turned out a lot better. So overall, paint still needs to be a thing that needs to be addressed more. I'm having more trouble with paint on Lightning Collection than Marvel Legends, so that's like it's a thing. It needs to be worked on. Articulation, same as other people. Left, right, up, down, a little side to side. Shoulders move out, really nice and sturdy. Forward, back really far. 360, bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. Outward, inward pivot, 360 wrist. The ball joint, really nice. It actually ratchets, if you can hear that. It actually, this is like a sturdy ball joint. Like the Dino Charge Red got kind of loose on mine, and others where it like is kind of loose, but this is like ratcheted. So wow, already improvement. Back, forward, hips out, forward, thigh swivel, double jointed knee, working great. Boot swivel, forward, back, side to side. So pretty awesome. But of course, what's articulation without accessories? I think that's become a catchphrase of mine now. Anyways, for the first accessory, we have the Quasar Saber in its dagger mode, which has the lion coin on there. And then on the back, it actually does have the kind of what was the speaker on the original toy. This is very nicely painted. And some people are going to say, wait, what? Why is this, not silver like it should be? Well, here's the thing. They don't run around using the dagger mode. They run around using the sword mode. So when it's in the holster, this is what's so brilliant. The holster, you never notice that there's parts not painted silver because you just see the gold on the top and the gold on the tip, and they just saved a bunch of money and were able to include both forms of the sword easier. So that's awesome. So get that out of there. Of course, we get the normal size Quasar Saber, which these are wonderful because they put the lion symbol on his, which means the other four are going to have their symbols, I'm pretty sure. They wouldn't just do that for one. It's probably going to be a consistent thing of let's tampograph in each symbol, which is awesome. Very nicely sized, very nicely proportioned. Slips into the hand really nice because the handle's like kind of flat, but that's okay because it looks good. And check that out, he's just automatically got the Quasar Saber, no hassle. And again, just like with Psycho Red, you can actually have him dual wield it like that, which is awesome because I don't think I've ever had a Galaxy Red figure that can actually dual wield the sword. This also works out because his effect piece is not lightning, but a fire effect, which slides all the way down the Quasar Saber, and now he's just ready to like skewer a Psycho Red with some fire, which is pretty awesome. I like that the fire powers of Galaxy Red have been represented because that's something that's very unique for a Red Ranger as fire. There's only a couple of those that actually do that. In terms of other hands, he's got Ye Old Standard Fist and Ye Old Standard Karate Chop hand. I don't really like either of these, so we're just not going to use them. I think he looks good with just the holding hands. But yeah, that is the 2-pack. Really impressed overall. The QC thing does bum me out a little bit. The other pack that I saw at my store, at my GameStop store, had a lot of red kind of... There was like basically, it looked like someone shot him in the stomach because there was like a red blob. It was like a light red blob over the white part, which which is really, really terrible. So I'm really hoping they work on the QC in general. I think there's a lot of figures that are having weird joints. There's a lot of figures that are having weird paint. That's stuff to work on, but overall, it's a great 2-pack. If you're wanting either of these characters, it's definitely worth it, but definitely don't go in being like, well, the only thing I want is the Psycho Red, because, man, I really like Galaxy Red, and for whatever reason, maybe it's just because I love Lost Galaxy, I found myself posing around with more of this figure with its, sword options, with the fire effect and all that. I pose more with him than I do with Psycho Red. Like, I mean, I love Psycho Red, I just... I kind of have a couple poses, and that's pretty much it. Well, Galaxy Red, I've been doing a lot of cool stuff with, so... Before I wrap up the video, of course, we gotta put the two brothers together. Galaxy Red with the Magna Defender look fantastic. This is really getting me excited. We're 4 Galaxy Rangers away from having a whole team, and the fact we got 2 within the first year gives me hope that we're gonna have the whole team eventually. So, really excited about that. I love Lost Galaxy. It's so hard to tell, I know. I know it's just a complete mystery that I love Lost Galaxy, but, sometimes I just gotta say it. So overall, the Galaxy Red and Psycho Red 2-pack is fantastic. This was an inspired choice. I really gotta say, people working at Hasbro could have just done In Space Red versus Psycho Red, but doing Galaxy Red gives us some variety from Bandai's Legacy line, as well as giving us an update and kind of a promise of, hey, we're gonna make more Psycho Rangers in terms of Psycho Red. So I think that this was definitely an unconventional choice, but to do it based on the team-up as opposed to the original appearance is really smart. This gives us more variety in the line, and I really do love it. And I'm not just saying that because I'm happy to have Galaxy Red already, when I didn't expect to see him for a while. So, it's kind of a twofold there. But overall, I think this set is great. Retails for $39.99. You can pick it up, like I said, GameStop, Hasbro Pulse, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Dorkside Toys. Probably Best Buy, since they were the ones that originally listed it. It's just a matter of them actually getting it. And overall, I'm pretty happy with the set, and I definitely recommend it. So stay tuned for future Lightning Collection reviews. Hit the like button and the subscribe button, plus the notification bell to keep in the loop, especially when that Psycho Blue and Armor Black Ranger coming out soon. Also be sure to check out my new series, Soundout's Heroes of the Grid Showcase, talking about the Power Rangers tabletop game, Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid. Lots of great stuff there. I've had a lot of fun working on those videos with Ryan Darkclaw643, who's on Twitter at Darkclaw643, who's done a lot of art graphics and a lot of great stuff for those videos, as well as these. So check them out if you have the time. I'd really appreciate the support. Also check out Hero Club at hero-club.com for future Lightning Collection updates. Until next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.